Hi everybody, welcome to the first Maidstone Swimming Club land training video. You will need weights if you have them, cans of beans will do just as well. You will also need a mat or a towel to lie on for some of the exercises and of course water for sipping on throughout. Today, 12 reps of each exercise, 6 exercises per circuit, and there are 6 circuits. As in the real world, we're going to start with the warm-up, approximately 30 seconds per exercise. Okay, going to start with jogging on the spot. Throughout the warm-up, you want to still be able to hold a conversation with someone, so it's that kind of pace and effort. Moving on to butt kicks. And back to jogging again. And then we are moving to high knees. Really pick up your knees, pump your arms if it helps. Try and keep those high knees going for the whole 30 seconds. You can see I did struggle though. And then we're back to just jogging on the spot after that. And it wouldn't be warm up without jumping jacks. And back to jogging again. And side steps. I'll warm up the inner thighs. And back to jogging for one more time. Well done. Should feel nice and warmed up now. Go and grab a drink and get ready for the first circuit. As you can see, circuit 1 is all cardio. These are the exercises we're going to do. So let's start with high knees. Remember, 12 on each leg, or 24 if you prefer to count that way. Really pump those arms to keep the height on your knees. Spotty dogs, alternating arms and legs going back and forwards, as you can see. Again, 2 times 12 or 24. On the floor, mountain climbers, left knee to left elbow, nice and pacey. Jumping jacks are great cardio. Keep your heart rate up. And burpees, always a favourite. Make sure you fully extend your legs and jump nice and high at the end of the burpee. If you can keep your rhythm going, it's much easier than stop-starting. Just a little tip for you. And if my pace was too slow, you can always go quicker. And finally, back on the floor, twisted mountain climbers. Almost the same, but this time, left knee to right elbow and right knee to left elbow. Get a good twist in that torso. Brilliant, well done. Have a tea break and have a drink. You're going to have 90 seconds rest now. As you can see, the next circuit is going to be the chest. So you will be on the mat for most of these. All of these, in fact. And here's the list of exercises, just to give you a heads up. Okay, start with our standard press-ups. Hands in line with your shoulders. Keep your body and legs as flat as you can. Have your hands slightly wider than the mat or towel. And you want to make sure that you're not just dropping your hips. It needs to be the whole body. If you need to, feel free to drop to your knees for these. The old faithful chest press. Arms start bent, so your upper arms are laying on the floor, as you can see, and then bring the weight together over your chest. Stay nice and wide as you bring your arms down to the floor. Okay, dumbbells overhead or cans of bean overhead. Keep your arms straight, otherwise it will turn into a tricep exercise. That's not what we want right now. Try and hover the weight just above the ground so you keep the tension in all the muscles down the centre of your torso. Remember 12 reps of all of these exercises again. Alrighty, diamond press up. You will feel this in your triceps as well as your chest. These are harder than the standard ones. If you can do it on your toes, great. But if you do need to drop to your knees, that's also fine. You're still going to get all the benefit. Make sure those hands are under your chest. And the hands are forming a nice diamond shape, hence its name. Chest flies. Now this time you want straight arms as you lower them to the floor. And then bring the weights together just above your chest. Again, try and hover above the floor as it does create a bit more tension and work the muscles more. Finally, flip back onto your front, shoulder taps. In the higher plank position, and then literally it does what it says on the tin. Tap your shoulders, alternating arms. Stay on your toes, try and keep your body as flat as possible. Yay, another tea break for you. Keep drinking throughout these sessions. Also a chance for your body to recover in between. As you can see, next one is legs. The list will appear shortly. I'm sure some of your favourites will be in there. And there you go. Don't worry if a couple of those you're unsure of. I'm demonstrating all of them. Okay, streamline squat jumps. Arms above your head as if you're going to dive. As you land, make sure you bend your knees, pop your hips back. And try not to bend over. Whilst it's tricky to keep your torso upright. Deadlift. So these are going to work the back of your thighs and your lower back. You want to bend under your hips. Make sure the pressure's not on your back. Keep your knees soft and your shoulders back. Try and keep your back like a nice tabletop when you're bent over. plie squats. Really nice wide stance. Get into squat position, feet turned out, and then you're just lifting your heels off the floor. Keep your torso as upright as you can, but your bottom low. Alternating lunge jumps. Again, do what they say on the tin. You want to aim for a 90-degree bend in both legs as you land. Try and keep your torso upright. And make sure you do 24 of these because you have 2 legs. Ice skaters. These will work the outside of your hips. Take the leg as wide as you can behind the other leg. If you want to bring your arms in to give you a bit more effort, you can do that. Jazz hands are also welcome. Finally, monster walks. Get nice as low as you can. It's a sort of moving squat. You bring your feet together and then take them wide again. If you don't have space to do several in one hit, one each way is just as good. And you want to do 12 each way. So again, if you prefer to count to 24, do that. And we're at another tea break. These tea breaks are coming around with great regularity, aren't they? So next circuit, as it says, back and shoulders. But as before, your tea break is 90 seconds long in total. And here's the list of what you can look forward to. Keep sipping the water. Okay, reverse flies. Bend under the hip and tilt forward slightly, not as far as a deadlift. You want to bring your arms up in line with your shoulders, squeezing the shoulders together. And keep your arms almost straight, just soft elbows. Upright row, one of my favourites. Lift the weight up to your chin, smiley elbows, have them pointing up to the sky or the ceiling, and then you're there. You'll only need one weight for this, as you can see. Overhead press, back to 2 weights. Start with your arms at a 90-degree angle and then extend your arms, bring the weights together above your head and return back to 90 degrees. Nice simple one. Front to side raise, again, does what it says on the tin. Lift your arms up to shoulder height, no higher. Take them out to the side and then drop down to the side of your legs. Be purposeful with your movements. You don't want to be flapping about, okay? Otherwise you don't get the benefit. On Okay, on the floor now for the Renegade Rows. You're basically lifting the weight, elbow up towards the sky, keeping the arm close to your body. And when you've done 12 on the first side, switch over, do 12 on the other side. Last one for the back extension. Have your hands on your temples. You're going to lift your chest just a little bit off the floor. It's not a big move, but it does mobilise the lower back. It's really important that you don't force this. Just go as high as you can. It doesn't have to be massive because you'll overextend your back and injure yourself. Well, look at that. You're on another 90-second tea break. Enjoy. Keep drinking. So glutes next. Our second to last circuit. You may not be pleased to realise that. And there is your list of loveliness that's coming up. The only one I don't think we've done ever in land training is leg pulses, but don't worry, I'll show you that. And you can always watch that bit of the video and rewind if you need to. So nice and wide stance for the sumo squats, feet turned out. You'll still need to pop your hips back as you go down. Now we're hitting the floor. Donkey kicks, great for the bottom. You want your legs at 90 degrees, your foot flexed, and then you're kicking up towards the sky or the ceiling, depending where you decide to do this. You should feel a good squeeze in the glute on the side that you're working. And then we swap sides. We don't want wonky muscles. Staying on the floor, fire hydrants next. This time, keeping your leg still at 90 degrees, but you're taking your leg out to the side. Not a massive movement. Your flexibility will dictate how far you can go. You don't want to twist your spine, so do be careful of that because you lose the benefit of the exercise. This is working your outer hip. Okay. Nearly there. These burn though by the end. Onto your back. When we're doing the bridge, you're going to lift your hips up to the ceiling. You want to almost make a ski ramp with your body and your thighs. Squeeze your bottom at the top and then lower down. Again, don't do these too quickly. You get the most benefit of being at a steady pace. Okay, onto your side now for clams. Bring your knees towards your tummy. You want to keep your feet together and just open and close the knees. You might need to remember to roll your top hip slightly forward, just so you will then feel when you've got in that sweet spot. But you'll definitely feel it around the hips. Just resting on your forearm. You don't need to be laying on the floor. In fact, it's probably better if you don't. And our final one, the new one, leg pulses. So extend one leg, and then as you can see, it's just a little pulse movement. You'll feel the squeeze in your bottom. The cat is optional. Make sure you come high enough that you feel the squeeze in your bottom. But again, it's not massive. You don't want to put extra pressure on your back. Well, goodness me, it's another tea break. Keep drinking. But it's important to sip your water throughout. Don't gulp it, otherwise it might slosh around, and that's not terribly comfortable when you're training. So our final set on this session is core. The list of loveliness will be forthwith. Nothing too tricky, really. Here we go, Russian twist. Regulars will know how to do this. So you want to balance on your bottom, feet off the floor ideally, that's the hardest one. Keeping the weight close to your tummy, and then you twist from side to side. Again, keep the move purposeful and don't flap. But if you need to, if you're getting some back pain, drop your heels on the floor. No problem there. Another favourite of mine, the V-sit. Like a little rowboat, really. Again, you're balanced on your bottom, legs together. As your legs bend, your arms extend, and then as your arms bend, your legs extend. Quite a balancing act, this one, as you can see. Make sure you're comfy for the dead bugs. Legs bent and off the floor, arms pointing towards the ceiling. You want to extend opposite arm and opposite leg, as you can see. You want to hover both above the floor. And then you get a nice bit of tension down your front. And remember on this one, 24, because you have two sides. Leg raises. Hands under your bottom for support. Keep the legs straight and extended, and just gently raise and lower the legs, as you can see. You don't want to touch the floor, just hover again for that muscle tension. And you should be able to feel it in your lower abs. That's where we're working with these. Flip over onto your front for plank jacks. So we're going to get into plank position on our forearms. And then like jumping jacks, we're going to jump the feet in and out. And try and stay as flat as you can, but that's a bit more tricky with this one. As you're moving. And finally, plank with hip dips. Little chat with the husband there. Get in plank position and you are just twisting and dipping your hips. Not a big move, but by the end of 24, you'll feel it. As you can see, you've got to stay on your toes for these. There is no in-between version. Yay, you've made it to the end. So now we are going to stretch down. Have a drink at this point if you need to. And we're going to start on our fronts as usual. So just laying flat on the floor, up on your forearms, you'll get a small stretch across or up your abdominals and your tummy. And then we're going to straighten the arms to lift your body up a little bit higher, and you'll get a deeper stretch down your front. Only go as high as you can. Everyone's flexibility is different, so depending on the flexibility of your back, that will dictate how high you can come on this stretch. And then we're going to come back on, sit on our heels, forehead on the floor, and stretch the arms forward so that you can stretch the upper back, open up the shoulders. Now we're going to roll onto your back and pull your knees in towards your chest. This will stretch your lower back. Rest your head on the floor. Important to do that, otherwise you'll just get a strain in your neck. So we're holding these for 30 seconds each, all these stretches. Okay, 1 foot across the knee and pull in the underneath the leg. This will stretch out your glutes. And of course, swap sides. You should feel a nice pull in your bottom when you do these. Up onto your feet, we're going to do the swimmer stretch first, where you hug yourself. This will open up your shoulders and your upper back. It is important to stretch down, guys, so please do this bit at the end of the video, because otherwise you're going to be sore in the morning at best, or over time you might pull something. So always do the stretch down. And then we swap sides on the swimmer stretch. Okay, onto the calf stretch, and then bring your arms behind as well. So with the calf stretch, as you can see, rear leg is straight. You should feel it in the belly of your calf. Front leg is slightly bent. And by bringing the arms back as I've done, that will stretch your chest out at the same time. And then we'll swap sides, and then you're going to hug a beach ball, which stretches out your traps and your neck and upper back. Okay, going to stretch the hamstrings next. Take one leg forward and keep it straight. You want your toes pulling up towards your shin, and you should feel a nice pull down the back of your thigh. Sometimes it goes into the top of your calf as well. It's a flexibility thing. And of course do the other leg. Okay, onto your quads now. So you pull your foot towards your bottom, doesn't have to touch. Again, flexibility, everyone's different, but you do want to feel the pull down the front of your thigh and try and keep your knees fairly close together. And then you swap sides. Different viewpoint, just because. Okay, triceps. So you're going to grab one elbow and just pull it to try and get the hand down your back. So don't pull too hard, obviously, just enough to feel that stretch in the back of your arm. Two sides as always, or both sides. And then we're going to just pull the arm across just to stretch the shoulder and the bicep. You don't want to lean on the elbow, so either place your arm between the shoulder and the elbow or between the elbow and the wrist, whichever's more comfortable, and just give it a gentle pull across the body. Shake it out and you're all done. Well done. You've made it to the end. Have a drink, have a snack like a banana or a cereal bar. See you soon. Take care.